Let's talk about Laura, landfall, and all associated with that. Scott Padgett's been tracking the numbers. How strong do you think when this storm makes landfall?
Making landfall possibly strong, a Category 3 hurricane, Doug. So that's going to be the difference as well with Harvey. Harvey did make landfall as a Category 4 hurricane, but what was different with Harvey, we mentioned it, it stalled over Texas for days, dropping historic rainfall, more than 51 inches of rain by the time it was all said and done. So we mentioned that Laura will be a faster storm. The main threats, damaging winds and that deadly storm surge that could make its way 30 miles inland. So looking at the satellite right now, you can see that Laura has continued to increase in some intensity, a little bit more well-defined structure of the cloud tops there on the satellite, and the center of circulation is continuing at the same speed to the west-northwest at 17. What's different, winds are now sustained at 90, and that center is about 405 miles southeast of Lake Charles, Louisiana. So it's going to make its way to the northwest, and going into tomorrow morning, already increasing to then a Category 2 hurricane. Remember, Category 2 is at 96 miles per hour. It's going to be a strong Category 2 by tomorrow morning, and then as we go into the afternoon hours, into the evening hours, already a major hurricane with winds sustained at 120 miles per hour. Could be slightly higher than that at landfall tomorrow evening into then the overnight hours, traveling its way up right along the state line if it takes that perfect center track. So we're going to be seeing that landfall possibly southeast Texas, southwest sides of Louisiana, right near Port Arthur, possibly in Beaumont, and then it's still going to be a Category 1 hurricane through a lot of Thursday, but downgrading pretty quick because of the friction of land and then rating itself out over the Ohio Valley and then continue to make its way to the north and east. So we're looking at that, and the hurricane warnings, they've changed just a bit. Tropical storm warnings now do include parts of East Texas. You can see hurricane warning stretching all the way off towards the north, Nacogdoches in their center as well. Lufkin in also a hurricane warning. Tropical storm warnings including Marshall and then Tyler under a tropical storm watch. This is something we need to keep our eyes on. So what's steering Laura? There's a big ridge of high pressure in the Atlantic. It's in the West Atlantic. So Laura's riding on that western edge of it and will continue to ride right on that western edge where there's a little bit of weakness in the upper levels and ride in an area that there's not a lot of shear to weaken it. So that's why we're going to get a major hurricane. And we talked about the potential storm surge. You can see the red area, 9 feet or higher in some spots of Louisiana. Flood watch is in effect East Texas, west sides of Louisiana because of the potential of anywhere between maybe 8 to 12 inches of rain in some localized areas. So flooding is definitely a concern right along that track. But again, Houston just keeping their eyes on the potential of some flooding rains as well. Closer towards home, we're at 90 degrees right now, overcast skies, dew point in the upper 60s. That is going to change as we go through the next few days. Tomorrow, more cloud cover on the way. Rain chances 40%, mainly east of the 35 corridor. Thursday, 89 degrees. Rain chances 40%, higher off to the east. But then after Laura exits, man, do we heat up back into the triple digits. And then when you factor in that tropical moisture, it will feel like 105 to 107 Friday into Saturday, and a small cool down, though, thankfully, in the extended forecast into next week.